Our next speaker needs no introduction. She's an accomplished actor and humanitarian, and you're all familiar with her professional accomplishments and talents. What you may not know is that she has become the driving force behind uniting the entertainment industry to help us fight for common sense gun safety reform. We are so grateful she's in this with us. It is my distinct honor to introduce New York City's own Julianne Moore.
Thank you. Thank you, Shannon. Thank you for that lovely introduction. I'm so proud and happy to be here today to march with Mom's Demand. Yes. I'm here today because I was especially inspired by Shannon Watts, our wonderful and eloquent speaker. I don't know if you have read the beautiful and eloquent editorial she wrote for the Washington Post. I read it this week and once again was so inspired by her words. As she explained the blowback that she's received by championing this movement and spearheading this entire organization, it came down to one sentence, one really beautiful sentence, which explains why she's involved in this, which is, if we have lost our children, we have nothing left to lose. So this is how I came to the movement. 4 years ago, when my daughter was out of school and I was shooting a movie in Queens, her dad was working, her brother's in school, so I thought I would bring her to work with me. And it was December 14th, 2012, the day of the Sandy Hook Elementary School shootings. So I knew that I wasn't going to be able to keep the news away from her forever, but I didn't want to talk to her about it while I was at work and her dad was at work. I wanted to wait until we were at home so we could explain it properly. So I kept the news off the TV, you know, in the van and off the TV in the trailer, and I asked everybody in the movie, hair and makeup and the crew to please not speak about it in front of her. And everyone was very careful. And then we came home to start decorating our Christmas tree, and she picked up her newly acquired phone with her carefully monitored Instagram account on it and said, "Mommy, did a bunch of little kids get shot today?" And that's when I felt ridiculous, and that it was reprehensible of me to try to keep my daughter safe by shielding her from news. If I really wanted to keep her safe and be a responsible parent, then I needed to help prevent an atrocity like this from ever happening to Liv or to anyone else in this country. I fervently believe that this is not a partisan issue. This is not an anti-gun or pro-gun argument. This is not a Second Amendment issue and does not deserve to be hotly debated as such. It is a safety issue. A majority of gun owners in the United States approve of common sense gun safety measures. Around 90% of them support universal background checks. A large majority of American citizens believe we need to keep guns out of the hands of dangerous individuals like stalkers and terrorists. Most gun owners keep guns away from children and store them locked and unloaded in their homes. Most gun owners believe in tighter regulations for gun dealers. A majority of us are on the same side. And yet, our federal government seems to be deadlocked on the gun safety issue. But as you all know, where there has been progress is in the states, and in no small part due to Mom's Demand. Thank you all for showing up again and again where state elections are held. Thank you for marching, for tweeting, for protesting, and for voting. I am so proud to be with you. And I would especially like to honor the survivors who are here today, who have endured such tremendous personal loss due to gun violence, and who are working so hard that others do not have to live with that personal tragedy. We honor you today. Thank you.
Well, I think Mom's Demand was formed by Shannon Watts, who's an absolutely extraordinary individual who's really gone out of her way to promote gun safety in the United States. It's really a bunch of mothers who are concerned about the safety of our children and the safety of all Americans, and we're really pushing for more gun safety regulation. It is not an anti-gun movement. It is not a partisan movement. It is a safety movement.
Tell me about what you'd like to see happen when it comes to the law?
What I'd like to see happen are universal background checks. In the 18 states that have closed the background check loophole, there have been half as many incidents of gun violence. It's not by any means an answer. It will not eradicate violence, of course, but there certainly have been significant strides made. As with many parents, with many citizens, I believe I was very affected by Sandy Hook, and it seemed to me really reprehensible that I wasn't doing anything when so many innocent lives were being lost as a parent and as a citizen.